Budget. Anybody online? After all
Is anybody Zooming?
No, nobody's online.
All right, I'm gonna call this meeting to order. Blackberry Jam Committee. February 13th at 6:07 p.m. Oh. I'm just gonna go down the agenda real quick. So I know we talk about this every year. But we need to decide if we're gonna move the date.
What's our normal date?
The last weekend of July is our normal date, and it's always bloody hot with us.
Yeah. Well, last week we did 27th.
Yeah. So I was down at the sports show at the Lane County Fairgrounds 2 weeks ago. And the CDBA boat people were down there. And I talked to them about how they would feel about lining up the Blackberry Jam with their camp out. Because they bring in a whole bunch of people from out of town for those camp outs. And they were ecstatic about the idea.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah.
And that's July 19th. 20th, right? Is that what you're talking about?
That's it's on here. Yeah, the 19th and 21st through the 21st. So I know that in the past we've talked about this, it's always come up that the noise from the boats is a problem for the bands. But as a human who lives right literally across from the boats only run for a few seconds at a time, and then it takes them like 25 minutes to set up the next run of boats, and then they only run for like another 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's not
So
continuous.
it's not, and I don't know, I mean, we could just let bands know ahead of time that the boats will be running and there will be, you know.
Short interview.
Yeah, sure, we can coordinate it with the boat people too.
Well, I mean, the boats stop running at 5, they have to.
Oh, okay, well, yeah,
So they're not allowed to start their engines until 8 AM. And then I know when 8 AM hits because
yeah,
about 15 boats light up, but they can't run past 5 PM. It's part of their permit, I think. And
Yeah.
so,
I think it's a noise ordinance.
yeah, they have
Yeah.
to have permits to run those.
but the
boats.
problem is on Sundays, it would interfere with the service. No, this church service, because we overhear it at our church. When, we started.
Usually Sundays is when they're just breaking everything down, I think. I can ask.
Yeah, 'cause if they're not doing any runs on Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. It might, but again, it would only be in 10-second intervals if they did.
Yeah.
It's a short thing.
Yeah. And Sundays they're short day too, so I can find out.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, no, I think that.
Yeah, and then, you know, it would bring in a lot more traffic. Not that we need it necessarily, but
It would make the vendors happy
yeah,
Yeah,
and the food vendors.
Yeah.
happy,
yeah,
Because
you know,
they're
and the boat people that I talked to, they said, we only get one food truck. And
Really?
they do, they only get Abshire concessions, which comes, they're the people with the silver and red and white trailers.
Two ladies, the two daughters.
The
are now-
sisters,
Yeah.
and they make the elephant ears and
Yeah.
hamburgers and stuff. They're the only ones who ever show up for concessions down there.
Huh.
And other than that, you know, they don't have food like we would have at the.
yeah, right.
So. So it's an idea. The only other thing is let's see, so the dates that ours would normally fall this year is also going to be the Lane County Fair. Will be going on. And then.
Generally is.
Yeah,
Usually we're
we come
also-
across that quite frequently.
Do we? Okay. Yeah, and then also the Asian celebration will be going on the last weekend of the month.
Oh, okay.
Um,
The other day, the Bohemian Liner Days.
Yeah, I don't mind moving it up. Yeah.
The next weekend, there's 12.
So does the Bohemian Mining Days have their show?
I don't know if they have a car show, but I know they have a ton of vendors and it's a big, I've never noticed a car show there.
Where,
But it might, the Bohemian Mining Days, it
are
was,
they going to have it?
well, I don't know.
They're having problems
Oh, are
down
they?
there.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
Okay.
really big problems right now,
Okay,
yeah.
because I know they,
Is there a car show as part of that?
Not really. No.
no,
It's, they've had problems in organising it, they don't have funds, so they think
Okay.
it may
Good month.
die.
yeah, my only thought was doing it on the same weekend as them, you'd be competing for vendors because
Yeah.
they do a huge amount of
That's
vendors.
true.
So you don't want, that may cause, but.
As far as cars with them, the only ones that, there's one in Springfield on Father's Day.
That's in
typically.
June,
Yeah.
and I think the one in Junction City is in August, right?
On August
Last year, we were up against a car show in Eugene.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, and I don't remember what the name of that car show was. But it was a new one.
I do remember that going on. But honestly, I didn't see a dip in our traffic, but we all move so much that I wouldn't have noticed.
So would it affect you if it's two car shows on the same
If
weekend?
a two-headed purple guy walked by me, I probably wouldn't have
Are
noticed.
we going to have a car show?
So that's why Daryl's here.
Well, that's why I said it, we on the same 2 weekends of having two car shows.
So, when will the state fly out?
So usually we are the last weekend of July.
Like 26.
So that would be, yeah,
This year, yeah.
But we want to move it.
but we're thinking about moving it to align with the boat races.
That's also related for
Name of the
licensure.
boat
That
race.
makes sense, too.
CDBA.
And they did it in Pleasant Hills last year.
BBA.
Uh-huh.
Well, you could even move it up farther
We could.
to July 12th or whatever that next one is.
The 12th, 13th and 14th. We could do that too.
And it would be cool.
That would be a weekend of the country fair.
Oh.
And I really don't want to compete with the country fair.
No.
That's a bad idea. There
That
would
is
have
very-
no vendors if that's,
Okay, I didn't know.
yeah. It's always the weekend after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it, not anything to do with our traffic. We just wouldn't have any craft vendors.
Okay.
And there's a,
So I'm fine with July 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll tentatively set that date for now, and I will talk to the CDBA more and move forward with that. And then, I'll talk to the guys who do our sound and make sure that they won't have a conflict in schedule and everything like that. So if we are going to have a conflict, I will reach out to everyone when I find out that we do need to move it back to the last weekend of the month. But for now, I think it's working.
Okay.
if I can observe, because I had already, I was planning to take the Friday and the Monday off.
Yes, I
which
will.
I will need to switch that, and I probably won't be able to do that, because I have somebody on vacation, but that's okay. I just don't want to change my.
I'm really hesitant to move it because it's, historically been the last weekend of the month, but if we can line it up with the boats and get all that extra traffic, I think it's gonna be for the best.
How is that gonna impact, reoccurring vendors who have always known when it was gonna be?
That's the other thing we need to find out, so,
So then
we'll
we-
just kind of reach out with
Yeah.
a tentative date and see what the reaction is.
I think that's the only bad downside when you start changing dates of an event that's been going on for so many years, is a lot of people already know, they've already planned, and they've got,
Yeah,
your vendors and people that are coming. I mean, if they know, especially, I don't know how many, like, we have events in Oak Ridge, family members will plan to come home on vacation during that time, or they'll plan to come home, do class reunions during that time, because they know there's an event going on.
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's that way here or not, but just something to think about.
We will find out.
so the Central Lane Show and Shine is July 20th, 2024.
That was it, show shine.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
So that would pull all the cars away from us.
Well, that'll pull all the Pretty close.
Okay,
I'm not, I wouldn't.
so based on that information, and if you are fully committed to making a car show happen, then we're gonna go with the last weekend of the month.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Does everyone agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so we're set for the 26th, 27th, 28th.
all right.
Thank you for looking that up, Carol.
Yeah.
Okay. So Lana, last year, your friend, she was blonde and she got stung by a bee.
I don't remember who that was. Is
Her
it Lynn?
and her son, Lindsay.
Yeah, Lynn.
She wanted to run the kids' corner.
Yeah, I saw her last night. She said she wanted to
Okay,
run the kids corner.
so we need to hear from her if she's
She
gonna
thought
do it.
it was 4 hours only on Saturday. She wasn't gonna do it all 3 days. And she was going to have her son and all of his friends help run it.
Just for 4 hours
Mm,
out of the entire,
That's what
weekend.
her thought was. Well, you know, when we used to run it, it wasn't open in the early morning on Saturday.
no, but it should
It
be,
was open from 1 on.
yeah.
But, another thing, she's under the impression that we still have all of
We do,
the games and things.
we do. They're in the,
And the storage,
storage unit.
Okay, because I was thinking, well, since we moved from that other building, I didn't know if they threw them away or what they did with them.
Oh, no, they've always
they've
been.
always been in there.
So a couple of the games are broken, so we need,
Fixing.
for the 3rd year in a row, I'll tell you all that I need to go over and organize the storage unit. So the stairs that my husband made last year have been sitting in the middle of my wood shop this whole year, this whole time. And every time we need to go in there, we open the door, we walk up the steps, jump down the other side, do it. So I need to organize the storage unit so that I can put the stairs in there. So when I do that, I will look through the games and see
Okay,
what there is and.
Yeah,
Lorna, this lady that wants to do the,
Lynn.
could she not have a friend that she could delegate the other times to, that she could recruit, so there's someone else there?
Well, I'll talk to her. I don't know if she's familiar how we used to do it, but I can talk to her and see. She was willing to put in 4 hours with her son and her son's friends. I don't know.
Cause we need it more than that, really.
Yeah.
We really would, yeah, and it
Yeah.
would be a shame to
It needs to
pull,
be there all
it's
weekend.
a lot of work to pull all that stuff out of there and set it up to only utilize it for that long. Plus, if nobody's overseeing it for the
Yeah.
rest of the time,
Let's see, that's it.
that's how they got broken last time, was nobody was keeping an eye on the areas. Let's
I'll
see if she
remind
can,
her that we also have adults working there. And that maybe we could get enough adults and enough kids to spread it out more.
Right.
that's a good idea, and maybe, Jessica McCart might be interested in helping with that too.
She might, yeah.
Yeah. So let's,
Come out and play.
Yeah, this is summertime.
No, yeah, I know.
yeah, so let's circle back with Lynn and see if we can find a couple more volunteers that can, you know, if she wants to take the lead and make a schedule of who's gonna run it for like maybe 2-hour intervals or something. And if they are her son and his friends, maybe we can talk to the school about getting them some credit for doing that.
Yes.
Okay. So. Are you going to be doing the parade again, Ron?
I'll do that.
That went really smooth with your guidance last year, so. Okay, and then. volunteers, if you guys know people who want to volunteer during the event, like last year with trash and stuff like that. We just need to make sure that they fill out our volunteer forms. Jeremy, do we need to fill out new forms for this year, or are we all good in this room? I think Daryl will probably need to fill one out because he's new.
I was just thinking about that. Let me think about that and get back to you.
Okay. And then, let's see, we've got,
So did Daryl bring that to the car for me? Just jumped over that one.
In order, there's one suggestion I would like to bring up
yeah,
is with the spider boxes. If we can get like 2 of them, so we can separate them on separate circuits.
Yeah.
Instead of running them all off of that one circuit like we did
that
last
is
year.
the plan.
Yeah,
Well, am I signing myself up for failure or?
So the car show is going to be a big undertaking. We did try and do a show and shine a couple of years ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
But because there was no designated person to take the lead and make that all happen, it just didn't get out there enough. And
Some people did show, but then they left too. It was very hot that year. It
It's
was
very
extremely
hot.
hot that year.
Yeah.
And they stayed an hour or so and then they left because nobody was coming through to view the.
nobody was
cars.
coming through, and
It wasn't under any supervision and.
they said there was no bathrooms for them to use.
Mhm.
Because they would have had to walk from,
Mhm.
so the car show is usually on the football field over at the
Yeah.
school. They would have had to walk from there over to,
Yeah, so that's something we'll have to remember to do.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was gonna be one of the things is porta potties or bathroom, and then, it's kind of, you're kind of separating them from the event. So it kind of makes it kind of hard.
It'd be nice if there's a way.
Well, if we get from 80 to 100 cars every year. And we don't have it's not an issue because it's well orchestrated with a good group that used to do the car show.
Yeah,
And of course, with the COVID situation, it just died, and like everything else, it's difficult to get volunteers to spearhead it. And we've had some pretty good leaders in the past too, like a lot of us have got old, But with a lot of assistance, it would work. I mean, we used to have a photographer that came by, took everybody's car, and then by the time they'd left, he had it in a presentation case and gave it to them. And so it wasn't just a case of just showing go, Now, are you a member of a club?
no,
Okay,
I keep meaning to go. There's the local group, that meets in Pleasantville,
I'll talk to you afterwards.
okay,
So George, this is George, who I told you about, who's
Okay.
been our mentor.
George, give him your phone number.
Oh, well,
You can.
Not on camera.
So I'm wondering, is there a possibility I gotta think of one in that, but a Jerry Valencia's fenced off area? Would that be a big enough space to put the cars?
No,
in?
no, no.
Get him to-
we need a football field to do
Okay.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's not been an issue. really.
3/4 of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not happened since I've been here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
my preference.
Jerry would
I've
take
been
them like-
involved in larger shows down in LA,
Uh-huh.
where I've judged and helped set
Yeah.
up. But there's not, I mean, it was the football, it was the whole area was
Yeah.
filled with cars. It was 300 to 400 cars.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
That's a lot like what you'll find here, if it's well advertised.
you see, the thing is,
A lot of people.
the guys on the car circuit, they are semi-prepared for all these car shows to go on the same day every year.
yeah,
And, the bugging goes, are we going to have a car show this year? Because they love coming to Lowell the way we do it, and we fuss over them and make them feel helpful. And the first 25 people to register used to get a free piece of Blackberry pie. So that was another big enticement, things like that. So, I'll come and visit with you,
okay,
and you can join our club.
okay. Sponsors, no English part.
Oh, we've been going 60 years continually. And we're the only club that's allowed in Valley River.
That's fine.
Oh.
So,
I will also do the information center if you want.
yeah, that goes without saying, that's not even a question on the document.
It's not even on your honor, they just know you're gonna do it.
Oh, yeah, it is.
So George, do they pay ahead of time like they do with the craft foods
What?
to be in the car show?
Oh,
Do they have to pay to be in the car show?
Oh, yeah, there's registration fee, yeah,
There is, okay.
yeah. And, we've got the forms somewhere.
Okay, well, I,
Yeah,
one of us
and
has
and
the
that's,
box.
that's, you know, a lot of them will register early.
Do I have to pay?
You never.
Do I have the box?
No,
There, somebody came and turned in a box
Oh, I don't know.
to stamp,
but we have them in our packet. I
so
mean,
it's probably, yeah.
I'll have to have a look.
So if you want to talk to George and maybe get an outline, we would have to start advertising.
Yeah, we need to get it
our
out
show.
early, that's the key, you know.
And so
And
we
of
know
course,
our date is last weekend.
yeah, and getting helpers, that's the key,
Yeah.
you know, who's gonna do the tickets and go around.
And
to the
again, we
churches,
could also talk to the school about getting kids signed on to get credit towards
Hmm.
I can't remember, son or daughter,
So,
son is going to,
no, he goes to, Lane.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the kids here have to have credits, volunteer credits to graduate, so I've been trying to get the school on board with giving us kids every summer to.
They get credit when they help out at the Grange.
Yeah.
We give them.
Well,
This is probably hard.
here's the problem is I don't know who's in charge of that program.
Oh, ain't it, Sharon, Sharon, Best
I
Bangor.
was told that she's actually not in charge of that. program.
Well, she kept saying.
Why
that
does-
she- Yeah,
Yeah, the school told
call
me
her.
it's not Shannon,
See,
and they told me to.
we didn't have to figure that out because we give them a slip of paper
And they have to.
and it says the hours and we
Okay.
sign it and the date. And the kids take care of their own slips of paper and turn it into wherever it needs to go.
But you're talking about trying to promote it in school.
Yes.
As opposed to what the mechanics are.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that's what it is, yeah.
We didn't have to worry
I'll
about.
call over and talk to them again. No, I got 3 of them.
Yeah. I will push it.
All right, yeah, because I left messages for like 3 different people last year, leading up through spring break and never heard back, so.
I almost have to walk over there.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Okay. So yeah, if we can get student volunteers to help with the car show, they might even be able to open that concession stand over there.
That would be nice.
Could you maybe find out when they're gonna have an assembly and maybe
Yeah, we might
go in and kind of present it to everybody?
But don't they have to meet with their like
Counselor.
counselor over how much credit they have to graduate? So if the counselor knows that it's an opportunity, then maybe the,
Hmm.
Oh, I see, okay.
you know, I don't know, because I don't know if the younger students need it in like the 9th grade, because the assemblies would also incorporate the junior high too.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Weird about this.
Where are we on this? I lost my place.
I don't know where we are yet.
Did we ever get to the grease pole?
I'm crafting.
Getting there, we kind of did our typical thing where we started talking about,
Jumping around.
yeah, okay, so. Grease pole, I believe will be the usual suspect.
Tim's gonna do it, is he?
Yeah.
Good.
I haven't heard from him lately, but I can't imagine he would say no.
No, if I see him in the store, I'll put a bug in his ear.
Electrical? Okay, so George. Who has been the contact for Star Reynolds has been Mike Galvin.
Yeah, Mike,
all this
yeah,
time.
yeah.
We need to find out if they are just not going to.
Well, it was kind of funny, wasn't it, last year, what happened?
Yeah, they pulled them from us like
Yeah, at the last
week of
minute, so
the event.
I don't know if, he didn't name that.
Mike,
No, not Mike,
then,
Dennis. I thought Dennis contacted them.
He did.
And that's when he found out it was a mess.
Well, he was in contact with them for like every couple of weeks. He was contacting them.
Yeah,
And then just all of a sudden, right before the show, the guy's like, oh, I can't do it. I can't, you know.
well, maybe, do you think Dennis would do it and contact them earlier and keep on the, try and get a
well, he
real
did,
commitment?
he had emails with them every month.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, if we're, is there another place that would provide them? Because if we go back to the same ones, unless we have a definite commitment, we might finish up in the same boat again.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
And we got mailed out
yeah,
by,
yes, you know who, right? Mention no names, but one of my eyes.
Would they want to do that again? Or just get
I can ask them,
recognition
but
as a sponsor? By
I do
Monday?
believe they probably swallowed a large bill on that, on our behalf. And I offered to sponsor them and they said, don't even mention our name.
Oh,
We'll take it. So, you know, there again, that is a big item for the whole
Yeah.
weekend,
I
really.
can find out if they're willing to, this year supply us as a true sponsor, since it's this early, and see what they say.
Mm.
And who was it?
Christmas
Tell you
work.
all.
It was your Christmas work.
But yeah, I will find
Yeah,
out.
I mean, if they do it for, the sponsorship advertisement, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't understand why they keep wanting sponsorship. But just after we're on off the camera.
But if it hadn't been for their last minute help, we would have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you couldn't have it without that, no.
Okay, moving on.
Are you?
Horseshoes, I'm guessing Brad will do that again. I haven't heard from him, but,
And I'm sure he'll do cornhole. That was a huge
that
success.
was, yeah,
And we have the trophies, so that's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
and, let me just text him real quick and just say, are you committed?
You'll say yes.
Announcing, would you be willing to do announcing in Mike's health is just
Yeah.
continues to deteriorate.
I know he pitched in for me on Sunday, I think, because I couldn't come down, so he did, but I should be fine to be here the full time, because like I said, I've taken the Friday before and the Saturday or Monday after off, but.
Yeah, he did help
Of
one
course,
day,
once
I
I get
guess.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his knees are working.
Yeah.
He's just not doing as well as he'd like right now. So.
Are you willing to do this one?
Well, I want to talk about that because, I don't know that I really do it much justice, because all I was really able to do was do the letters, mail them out, and I know that Sam gathers the money and all that, but, it'd probably be very beneficial to have somebody to actually go on the streets and really try to get sponsors, and I can't do that, I don't have the time to do that. So, I don't know, and there's been talk about doing having advertisements in it before again. So I don't know, I mean, I'm more than happy to take the list I have and send out the letters again, like I did in the past, but I really think to get the most out of it, you need people, somebody that's willing, that has the time and willing to either make phone calls.
Well, I said I would do that. Once you send the letters out and give me a copy of the
Okay.
letters, I will put it
Okay,
and I'll face to face with these
Okay.
people, like we used to do. Now that brings up another question. I, as a sponsor, how does my name get out there to the populace?
well,
So that becomes then about a program.
right.
Because I want to see my ad in front of.
Well,
these
we didn't do
people,
ads, so that was it, last year, the last couple of years, we haven't done ads, but we offered to put a banner of yours out.
Yeah, but I mean,
And I
that,
announced it.
but I mean, bigger distribution, that as in a program.
Well, that
That
would
we
be
used
it,
to do,
yeah.
and you get your word out even more.
And that becomes more time consuming.
Exactly.
So, getting logo, so I don't.
It's all tied together, really, and we are a little bit late on getting our foot going on this.
I know Sam did do a really good job on the back of our little flyer. She put everybody, listed everybody that was a sponsor. But yeah, if you wanted to get back to how it used to be where people, there was certain levels and that got you certain things, there's gotta be a lot more work.
It is, see, and that's the thing.
And I don't have.
There
that
again,
experience.
you need to have somebody that's savvy in that area.
Yes.
I mean, we can send the letters out and go and visit with them and get a check from them, but.
Yeah.
You know, needs to be a little bit more than that
Yeah.
possibly.
And, you know, do we need to revisit, because the letter, I don't have a copy of it, but it was, you know, we weren't offering all those different
No, right,
sponsorships, we were just asking for donations because we didn't have that. So we're gonna, if you wanted to change that, we need to come up with the levels of sponsor, what that's gonna get for them, who's gonna be the one to make sure that all that.
Well, and I don't know that she was really speaking like as something we're going to do, because we have to look at it from the standpoint.
No, but George was saying if we want.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I mean, what Sam was saying
Yeah,
last year too.
yeah.
We can't necessarily afford
Right.
to print.
Yeah.
Those really
The
fancy.
printing of the program.
So,
Costly.
and I'm going to find out from Maureen if it's possible that we can print them through the same people who did the bridge. But then we're still talking about a black and white, you know, no fuss.
I mean,
It would be a little bit more
yeah.
professional than what we've been making the last 2 years. But we wouldn't be able to offer
Pages
the
and that.
multi-stage donation program that
And-
was previously.
Right. And I never had anybody complain about it. And so I think by doing it the way we were doing it, where we were just asking for donation, and this is what we would let, you know, offer for them to do, it really kind of just puts it on them. If they don't bring a banner, if they don't, you know.
Yeah.
But, I just don't know that this group is at the point we could go any bigger with that.
I agree.
We had a large request for t-shirts that we were wearing. They were such nice looking shirts, you know, the logo in the front and everything. That we should really think about printing them up.
It's on the agenda. It's the last item on the agenda.
But again, if you put sponsors on the back of shirts, then you still gotta have somebody that goes, gets the logos, makes them format, make sure they're put on
And
there.
I do believe you would have to send it out to every company to get
Yes.
approval from.
Yes,
them.
you have to have them
Yeah.
send in their logo.
We would need a lot more time to
Yeah.
do something.
Yeah, so anyway, I am gonna send out the letters and then get George a list, and if people have. I mean, I have my list from last year, if people have more people they want added to it, I guess, let me know.
And I think on the t-shirts. It would be easier to make their own art and then give it to the sponsors if they wanted to make a shirt. They could make the shirt with our art and their sponsorship. Would also be a way to do it.
But we have multiple sponsors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, yeah, I mean, if they want to come and.
I mean, unless you had a t-shirt sponsor who's willing to
Yeah.
donate $1,000 to
No.
have their logo on it or something, you know.
Yeah, not here, anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know that you would need the sponsors on the back. I mean, we have in the past. But they wanted a t-shirt to buy. You know.
No,
Yeah, and so if you made at least the front of the shirt,
But the year and the logo on for the front, yeah.
yeah, what we have. on the
Simple.
front, Yeah, that was beautiful. That's what they wanted, and they would be willing to pay their $15 a
Yeah.
shirt, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
20, whatever you chose.
yeah.
So we'll look into shirts. My idea was that we print shirts for sale that are a different color than what the volunteers are wearing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if we do print something, it's gonna have to be one-sided, because when you start printing on the back, it's gonna get a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
He says it has to be, should be on the
And
back.
the people who are
I
buying the
meant
shirt.
Whichever, just do one side.
One side.
The people who are buying the shirt are not after what's on the back,
No,
they're after that front.
they just want some fancy identification of the
Exactly.
2095 Blackberry jump.
And that leads me to let you all know that Sam and I figured out this is the 30th anniversary of the Blackberry change.
It is, wow.
Yes, so
Congratulations.
we went back through several posters trying to figure out the years and correlation of when it actually, you know, what it comes out to. And so we're thinking, just ignore the fact that there was a gap, you know, during COVID, and just say it started in 94, it's 2024, it's 30th year. And so if we were to do shirts, we could do a 30th anniversary Blackberry can t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do like that.
You get the 25th anniversary poster.
I know we got.
Dave, Joe gave it to.
So I will work with Jeremy, in the next couple of weeks over what we can do about selling shirts.
And can I use the same letter I used last year, they're gonna change the dates, I might put
Yes.
in something in there about 30th anniversary, we're gonna go with the same format of just a donation, bring a
Yeah.
banner.
Just
Yeah,
the
I
date.
think that's best. And then
The
if
30th anniversary.
Just the dates, or do I think I should put times that we're doing it? I'll just.
Oh, wait,
I'll just
on your letter?
On my letter.
No, just said it Friday, Saturday, and,
Yeah.
Friday evening, Sunday afternoon.
So is it setups on Friday?
Well,
And then
that
it's
was the
Saturday and
next
Sunday.
thing.
Oh, I guess we haven't finished going through your things.
That's how we
For
use it.
sure.
Well, we're already talking about it. So I think we should go back to, Friday morning setup. And then just have one band Friday night. Be open by what, 4? We had a lot of people because we did the Friday setup last year. And then everyone was like, well, where's the festival? You know, it did help a lot having the Friday setup for Saturday.
It did.
But I think it was, there was a lot of, standing around.
Yeah,
at the
it's
end of the
worked, it's
setup.
worked well in the past, Friday
Yeah.
morning, like we used to do, and open up Saturday, Friday afternoon,
And we
like,
had
5
security
o'clock. or
Friday
whatever it was, yeah.
first, so we
Yeah.
might as well at least
Yeah.
have a little bit of entertainment.
We should have the craft booths could be open on
Yeah.
Friday.
And so we'll have to say set up by X time,
Mhm.
and then,
Be ready to open, yeah.
At 4 o'clock, I'm just saying.
same with the
4,
food
yeah.
trucks, right?
And the car show is just on Saturday, I mean, just on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And we have a parade, but a lot of the guys don't like to hit the car in the parade because they overheat, So they can tag on halfway down the street. That's what we're doing. So at the Forest Service property, they park there and then put it in neutral, turn it off and let it run.
One band, right?
Push it down the street.
So what time, so 4 to 10, and then what time Saturday? Was it
What have we always done, like 10 to 10, right?
We did 10 at a time, yeah.
Yeah,
And then Sunday was 11 to 4,
11.
4
Okay.
o'clock, yeah.
and if it's too hot, people were failing if I can do
Oh,
that.
no, it's not as hot as it was.
Okay, so, I will get with Lon about the crawl dragon squirt. Last year, they had an emergency. And
Yeah,
they had to
that's
take
fine.
off, and so we
Yeah.
never got to do the event, but they were set up for it. So I'll just make sure we're on board with that this year. And then George, are you okay with doing the dog show contacting?
Yeah,
And I think that lawn that we used last year where we just roped it off.
all right.
And then, once the dog show was over, we just we
More
gave it,
space.
yeah. So that worked out really well. I'll reach out to the alcohol vendors again. We need to put them on the lawn where the people watching the bands are this year. They've complained about every location we've given them that nobody knows where we're at, so I'm just gonna put them right in the middle of the lawn.
Where we normally put the canopies for people to sit.
Yeah, we'll just put them like right there at the back, because this year we didn't put vendors there, right? So we'll just put them at the back of that lawn so that the canopy is right in front of them, and then we'll have,
Straw,
well, we didn't even do bales last
No,
year because there was
Just
a,
bring blankets.
blanket,
Yeah.
yeah.
we just put it out there for people to bring their blankets and stuff. It worked out all right. Everyone was trying to stay under that cover though, because it was so hot. Everyone was trying
It
to
was,
stay in the shade.
yeah. It was really hot.
Once the sun went down, it's okay.
Yeah, in the shade.
Yeah. And then do you want to do the security or this year and then work with Ben again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we did last year, yeah.
And
sure.
then, Jeremy, do you want me the school has offered to let us use their trash? Do you want to do that instead of hiring our own this year?
That's fine, just keep in mind Santa Pack is
Yeah.
part of our franchise, is gonna
Oh.
provide free dumpsters.
Yeah, how do you know?
Oh, last year.
How
What's
does
that?
that work, Jeremy? Sorry. Well, how did that work with the Sunny
I
Pike
think it was
dumpster and Blackberry Jam?
Well, they filled up
They
super
filled up
fast,
fast.
but we figured out it was because the firefighters were using the wildland guys, so,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh,
that's okay.
I know
because
my-
they were saving our town.
Yeah, Dave, my husband Dave said he would come again and do like, bring his side by side and between him and the other Dave and. The other Dave got the card from the school and then Ben, they seemed to keep it pretty good, I thought. Yeah.
And if Sunny Pike are doing that, we might as well leave it like that, Jeremy.
Yeah, and then use the schools as a backup. if-
Yeah. Cause I know that other Dave, I think his last name Hernandez. He did some of the school stuff too.
Yeah, I kind of expected them to be here tonight. I'll have to reach out to them and find out if they're gonna help this year.
I think they do want to. The notice came out late. Maybe they just couldn't finagle their schedule.
Or maybe, you know.
No, well, they were on the email. I saw
Yeah.
the name on it. But
He's
he's,
my kid's bus driver. I can talk to him. in the morning.
right, yeah,
Flagging
I
him.
see him every day.
there you go. But I think they're planning on helping again.
Okay. Bathrooms.
Need more.
Well, and again, I think part of it was that the wildland firefighters were using them.
I don't know how many of them use those bathrooms, but they were full quick.
Yeah, we got the same ones we always.
Yeah, we just have to have more. I
I
think.
haven't come into you.
Well, we had to have an emergency dump,
I know.
which I don't know what that cost us,
A lot.
but yeah, but it was, I mean, there was no choice.
Honestly, it
It was bad.
worked out all right.
Yeah.
Well, look, and to some degree last year, we were kind of guessing because really that was what we called our nearest thing to a real Blackberry Jam. And we were
Yeah.
not anticipating what we were doing, you know.
But we don't use, it just seemed like another one or two would be nice, and maybe,
More supplies,
with
more supplies.
yes, yeah.
Well, and you
All
know,
the city ones be open
Sure.
this summer, they
Yeah.
weren't
Oh,
last
they
year,
weren't?
right?
no, they
They
weren't.
weren't. That was part of the problem,
Yeah.
yeah, those weren't,
Anyways,
Yeah.
there was still,
That's a
there
bad
was still
one.
close.
yeah.
We've repaired the fixtures, so.
So maybe that would probably take care of it then, because that was what it was, I think we just, all we had
Yeah,
were
that's right.
those.
Is there gonna be a Facebook or Instagram page for this?
Yeah.
Back on the t-shirts, can we just wear our own staff t-shirts that we had
I
last
think
year?
we should,
Yeah.
because that would reduce the cost for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then if anybody hasn't got it, you.
Yeah,
only-
I think-
I-
Is there extras where the,
Can't recall.
okay. Yeah, and I had my purple one that George had given me the year before, so I wore
You
that
had, you
one
had one to
day.
wear the next day.
Yeah.
The rest was at Steve.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
we'll see.
Who got the bathrooms, George, did you do that?
George.
Yeah,
You doing that
and
again?
it was a mess
and then
because
George.
a lot of them had not shut down in town. That's why I finished up having to go to Albany.
Mm,
Yeah,
Yeah, there was
Oh, wow.
nobody around. It was still awful.
we need to get
And
close.
I drove around to address it in the phone book and it was gone,
Yeah,
you know.
out of business or whatever.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, and then, Sam has a better map. And we're gonna pre-number the spots this year
And I
in
was,
order.
that's fine, I was actually thinking, we start one at where the log is,
Yes,
that's a one.
Good
And
idea.
from there,
And they're just working their way down. Yeah.
Are we losing part of the property? Which was brought up at the end of last year?
I don't see that happening
Okay,
no,
anytime soon.
okay.
yeah.
Just looking at stuff.
Now, we are gonna have to make sure that you remember that vendor that Ben and I went to because they didn't have power. I can't remember what number they were last year.
the one at the corner.
Yeah, we have to make sure there's power there this year. If we can.
Well, I mean, if there's no power there, we just need
Put
to
it somewhere
offer
else.
one less spot for power.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just,
Right.
yeah, well, and the vendors last year didn't mind.
Yeah,
that
they
They didn't have power.
They didn't.
Yeah.
They were just having fun.
Yeah, a lot of
That
them.
spot.
You know.
Yeah.
Are you doing food again, vendors?
Yeah.
Yeah, do we want to have the number of? Well, there again, if we have a map, maybe we can just map out spots. And then just stick with that.
For the craft vendors. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was what I was hoping would be. You know, if we do the car show, we might be able to have some of the food vendors split up, but I don't know cover either. That would probably upset some food vendors.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I'd leave them all.
No, you don't want any over there, because after 2-3 hours, you'll have to move their
Yeah.
truck, because there's gonna be nobody
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
I still like the idea of parking them around the street, the cars.
No, the food.
Oh, the food trucks.
I'd really like to be able to just block off that street and just put them all along there, but. I don't know if we'd be able to, I mean, it would be too far away. Never mind.
Mhm.
I'm thinking
It
out
seemed
loud.
like they set up really nice last year. These were an issue everywhere last year.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
think it's because it was so hot.
but
those bees were bad.
They were as bad.
we need to find out if people are gonna be leaving earlier, because we had 2 vendors that had to get to another event.
I tried to talk to them.
Yeah, see, that's
They
no,
left,
really,
but
we shouldn't have to accommodate positioning them so they can leave early, but I know
it
what you're
wasn't that
saying.
they were
Yeah.
leaving early, because it was time to leave, it's just that the people next to them hadn't left yet.
Or in line, doing it in
Yeah,
line,
so
yeah.
technically, they had, you know, they had to get to another event for the evening, we were done at 4, it was 4, they wanted out, that's fine.
But
But-
we're happy to like help escort them out with people all the way around them to
Should-
watch,
certainly,
Which
yeah.
is, I mean,
which was fine,
we just have to be safe about it.
right?
But the lady in one of the trucks, her gray tanks were full. And so all the way across the lot, she was just splashing and
Everything, yeah.
dumping water out of her truck. And I was like, you know, it's kind of a hazard.
Well,
If
if
you
you
go
could have-
through an area with an electrical box or something.
Well, I don't know how you could do it, but you know, if it was possible to dump that where we dump the grey water on the side of the bathrooms there, but there again, that's a vehicle, isn't it? You know, she'd
Yeah,
have to
so
pump it,
We
yeah.
just maybe need to put a disclaimer this year saying like, we would appreciate it if you didn't leave until closing, you know, because we did have one person leave like 2 hours ahead of closing because she had, and you know, I don't blame her. She didn't have any business coming and she had another event to get to, but you know, we just need to say like, for the safety, please try not to leave while there's,
And a lot of your events do that. They
Yeah.
say nobody leaves early and you stay till.
yeah.
Park on the end, yeah.
Well, see, that's what I was trying to get was, you know, making sure, and I talked to every single one of them and said, do you need anything special? Do I need to arrange you parking in a special way? And, oh, no,
Well, I think that person was just, that was
But
their
it happened the-
personality.
It was the year before I had problems with a couple of people too, but, what about doing like vendors, like the whole 2 ice cream cone or, snow cone people? Do we want to do like vendors or?
I think it's, I shouldn't say
We
this.
told
I
them.
would think you do first come, first serve, and as you get vendors, when people call, say, okay, this is what we already have.
That's what
And
we're,
not do exclusive.
and Sam did that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, that's
And
hard to do.
the second person was totally okay with it,
Yeah.
but the first person
Yeah.
was a little upset about it.
Well, maybe there needs to be something on there that said, you know, there's no guarantee of whatever, how.
There again, I talked to them and I.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. You're always gonna have somebody that's happy.
Yeah, and then,
Okay, so that's all I wanted to mention.
for the food vendors, we had a lot of complaints about that generator last year.
Which one? There
The
was like a couple of them.
donut
The
guy,
donut guy, okay.
Yeah,
his
that-
generator was a big, like, they strung it out far away from their booth, and it was sitting right next to
the
Planktown.
booths. Yeah.
For that'll be taken care of, because you're not gonna put them up
I
there,
know,
right?
but,
So
the
do we
kids
not wanna have
maybe-
generators?
well, I mean, they're all
They
gonna be
should
running
have.
generators, but that one generator, I don't think was really designed to run a food booth. It was more of a, my house has no power, and, you know, like, maybe. I don't know what to do about
Well, yeah,
generators.
what do? Do you put a certain size on the generator or?
Well,
You buy one of those quiet Honda ones.
I would say just, make a noise,
And I think
a noise restriction.
Dennis
Yeah.
will know for sure, but I think well, you would know. Is it because they were running fryers, like
Yeah.
fryers have taken?
Yeah.
a ton of damage.
Yeah,
So it's probably why they needed.
They
such
needed a
big
lot
one.
of, they needed a lot of juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, if
Well, there's
they're
some pretty big
gonna.
ones that's very quiet now.
But yeah,
So
just
really hard.
restricted on how many decibels it
Yes.
puts out.
It's to be
restricted.
under,
The decibels.
Do you want me to find out what a normal,
Yeah,
that's
well, 90 is the limit.
90?
Like, for safety reasons, we can't have over 90 extended exposure. That's what it is at my work anyway.
Okay,
So,
And certainly they should have it closer to their truck and not interfering with.
yeah.
Somebody else's.
Yeah.
Too, they put it far enough, and they were kind enough to ask at the time, hey, I have to run a generator, will that be a problem? And we said, oh, well, no, everybody runs generators, but we didn't realize their generator was quite so.
Yeah, it was loud,
And
yeah.
so, is there a way to muffle?
Not really, not with altering the whole shebang. Yeah, you couldn't conceal it because then you need the,
Well, if they have a lot better generator, it won't be so loud.
yeah.
It was a.
generator, but everybody has old
Yeah.
used stuff, so it's really
Yeah.
hard to.
You'll be limiting what you get probably if you start.
But if we put a decibel limit on it.
Yeah, I mean,
so on the 5,500 watt, I'll say cheaper, the industrial size, puts out 75 dB.
all right.
That's probably normal load, not high load.
We'll
So
see
say
if that's-
90 dBs just gets you off the cheap Harbor Freight. Ones that they used to do that,
I have those little suitcase Honda generators.
yeah, the 2001s, those things are quiet.
And you can run those.
Yeah.
sequence, but it's not like everybody's gonna
Yeah, but-
go out and buy those just to do it.
Yeah, no, if you go out and spend $1,500 a month. Especially if you have to have two to make enough juice.
Yeah.
So,
So anyway, we just need to make sure that their decibel limit stays within reason this year. I have a decibel meter
Yeah.
on,
we
you know,
could say 80, just,
80?
yeah.
Okay.
Then, somebody has, well, I have this one and see what's out. And if somebody wants to review it and say, that's high, too high or too low.
Send me some over to check it.
I will too, and we can get lawn involved because,
Yeah. I think
you
that's a
know,
good idea.
it's industrial exposure risk, safety risk, so it needs to be part of our safety plan is the
Yeah.
Blackberry Jam Festival,
I
to say.
You
know,
put up a
nobody-
small wall in front of it it's noise.
Yeah, we put them at the street last year so that they were on the end, but it was just, you know, it
Yeah.
was very.
It was obnoxious.
And if you could, stalk and track down that lemonade guy from 2
Yeah.
years ago and make him,
I tried calling, I tried texting. Emailing.
Like that guy's house spring.
I remember the lemonade guy, so I loved his lemonade.
Planktown just brings alcohol.
yeah.
Planktown just brings
Yes, I know.
alcohol.
And Planktown still never donated the last 2 years, so this year they have to pay a spot fee.
They don't bring him.
Yeah.
Right, so I'll place my son in camera.
Really?
Hamburger.
I've never been to Plankton.
They closed one, Pleasant Hill.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
Still top, yeah.
Good,
the one in downtown Springfield is really good too.
yeah, we went to that.
I've never been there. I work like.
Yeah, we went to top two.
Get the permission on garlic fries. Garlic commission.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
They're really good, but
It's like.
I don't want people to get away from you.
And we haven't had supper yet.
I had last week and I like to, you know, 8 hours, like 3 more. All right, we're going over time. Did I miss anything?
When I talked to Lynn about the games. In the past, what did we run? What were the hours? I think it was
I think- I can find one of the old brochures, but I
Yeah.
think it was from like around, I think they ran it like 11 to 2 and then like 5 to 8 or something like that.
It depended on
On the bands.
the band.
All on the
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
events.
cause they,
Oh,
they,
yeah, 'cause
it
then
wasn't open when the bands.
when the coins and the hay and the grease pole were going on, the games were not going on.
Yeah.
Right, see, I'm thinking it was a short time on Saturday, like, it seems like we were there around 12 or 1, and then it went till like.
I'll ask her, cause she went every year.
But
Oh,
And then I don't know that we had it on Sunday, I don't think.
no, we didn't.
No.
It was always Saturday anyway, so actually, she's pretty much right on.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, it was just, it's always Saturday.
And
But
it
it
was
was longer
longer
than 4 hours.
It wasn't more than like, I'm sure they closed it by 4:30 or 5. So that's right, about 4 hours is right.
yeah,
Well-
we just wanna make sure that, but it needs to run Sunday too.
No, we never had it on Sunday. Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
I can, I'll pull it all, I've got.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't-
I've got, should look at her program to see.
Too.
I wanna know what to ask her about this. But 4 or 5 hours is about right on. Sunday.
Yeah, and, you know, I just wanna make sure it's not like all at once, like, we need to break it up so that we can do like the games, the coins in the hay, the grease pole, the games, you know, so that,
Oh, yeah.
you know, we don't want the kids who didn't get to come until late afternoon to miss out on playing games because they didn't come at lunchtime, you know?
Yeah,
And
right.
she's also gonna need to be in charge of getting the game set up.
We'll have to.
Yeah,
schedule
we'll probably have
a person.
to get some help with that too.
She's gonna need help, sure.
So this says Friday starting at 5 p.m., open to 5, vendors open, 6 to 8, a band, 7 grease pole climb.
Oh, on Friday.
Yeah, and then another band, actually from 8:30 to 8:30.
So we always had 2.
And then what
They're
about
cheap,
the,
sure,
what about the children's?
that's what I'm getting. to. Hold up.
That was, I know, it started on
And then
Saturday.
Ray, 11, Derby. Okay, Kids Corner opens noon to 6.
Yeah,
That's about right.
6 hours.
Okay.
So that's 6 hours there and then.
Yeah.
There's Sunday one. Yep, from 1 to 4 on Sunday.
Yeah.
But, like I said, if we,
Well, noon to 6 might be just enough, because if you have it on Sunday, you have to have that stuff sit out all night.
well, everybody does it.
Yeah.
We have the,
Yeah, it's not a problem.
I know, but you can't keep people from coming in and ruining your stuff.
Well, that's
That's
not
why-
a problem because
We had security.
what about the other
Security.
places, you know,
all the craft booths got their stuff out.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
steal stuff from there.
I know
Bring you
that
back.
Joyce used to stay overnight, they used to sleep over there
That's crazy.
to help protect it, so that's why.
Well, and we
Well,
can
I
put
told-
the prizes away the same as we do the cash box and everything.
right, and I told all the vendors like 2 years ago, bring a pop-up, lower it down every night before you leave,
That's what we have done the last couple of years.
Yeah,
because that's what.
yeah, yeah.
So, okay,
Yeah, well,
again,
it's
was 12 to 6 on Saturday, and Sunday,
1 to 4.
Wonderful.
And we don't have to do it that much. I
yeah,
mean,
I really think just Saturday is enough.
no, I'd like, it needs to be both days.
I think so, because otherwise it's not justified, because
It's not
people come on
justified.
Sunday, we're not
Especially
there
if
on
we're gonna
Saturday.
buy all the prizes and spend the money to put the money into it, you
Right.
know. And then we need to decide if we're gonna charge kids for tickets to play, or if we're just going to have it as a free reign thing.
Oh, no, we always charge.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, so then we need to figure out who's gonna be in charge of the money, who's gonna be responsible for cash costs.
Helper stand,
Exactly.
and the helpers changed every couple of hours.
so this is where we
I
want
sold
to,
tickets for 2 hours and then
Yeah.
somebody else was.
So if she wants to take the lead and have a schedule of people, then having it for both days will work
That's what we
perfectly
did.
fine.
and try and get the parents as helpers,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Now I know what to tell her. We'll give her help though.
and then, you know, we'll have the Dr. Delusion go on, so we won't have the games necessarily open while he's on stage.
Because they usually do Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
make sure he's there
And
2
then-
days
yeah.
this year.
Yeah, people liked him.
Oh,
Yeah, the kids
People like
love
him.
him.
2 days.
yeah, right, yeah.
He was at, we went to something in Crestwell or Cottage Grove and he was there.
He's trying to work on a special theme this time,
Oh, is he?
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cool. Is his brother doing the sound again?
I'm sure so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've got it.
Mm,
I was gonna reach out to him, so
I'll do it,
you're gonna do it?
yeah.
Okay.
I will try to have the letters out by the end of the week. Some of the contacts,
Cool.
so I'll try to get those out by Friday in the mail.
And then if you wanna send me copies, I'll send it to my, electrical contact.
Okay.
Chips it out.
Okay.
Salt Creek.
And I would say for, you know, if that's, if they would do that, that would be their donation. Just no money involved, they can do whatever.
That, talk to Misha, that's another thing.
Oh,
What?
about,
Putting things up on Fall Creek Neighborhood Watch about Blackberry Jam is coming back this year.
Oh, yeah, we can.
For 3 days this time, not just,
Holiday.
yeah, we're having a
We
full
also
event,
have
well,
the
yeah,
Blackberry Jam page, because we have our own Facebook page.
yeah.
Plus, Sam and I already updated the website,
oh, okay,
so we
okay.
did that, and then we can put it on the neighborhood watch as well.
How about the registration sheet for like food vendors?
Oh, yes. I merged them. I'm almost completely finished, but I took all of the different registration sheets and I made them into one.
Oh, nice.
And so
Beautiful.
there's only gonna be one link to that and one thing to download on the website. So we're gonna have that available on the website probably next week.
Nice.
So do you wanna put this noise?
Yes. I was gonna use the letter that you made last year for the food trucks and try and incorporate that into, because there's like a vendor letter. And it was kind of silly because in the past, the way it was set up was you had to download the registration form and print it. And then you had to
Go back
download
again.
this letter separately that told you all the information about the registration form. So what I'm doing is I'm just making like a 6-page thing
Okay.
so that there's like a bunch of check boxes at the top where you check what you're registering for and then so on, so on. So the other thing that I was gonna ask everybody is, do we want to keep our prices for registration the same?
What are our prices?
Fortunate,
$40 for a booth,
Yeah.
$50 with electricity,
Yeah,
200?
$200 to be a food booth,
yeah.
Yeah,
so. And the electricity thing, I'm very tempted to just take that off as an option.
I would actually. Let's see,
Then they can bring their own generator.
And
And
more
crack
generous.
booths? No,
no,
that'd be way like.
but I
how
think
much do we charge for electricity?
$10, it doesn't seem like enough.
There's only,
It's not,
but there's only a handful of,
Exactly, there's like 10 spots.
yeah.
yeah,
Always a ton of problems with this.
it's not like 50, you know.
And where do they
it's
need?
not like,
Most of them say that they can have a fan, some say so they can run their, Spisa.
I was gonna say charge their squares or whatever.
Yeah.
But, it's gonna be first come, first serve, you know,
on the electric.
on the electrical and we need to say, once we hit 10, we are done, no more of this complication, like, I'm fed up with the craft booth complications, like.
Yeah.
This is, if we have a bunch of problems again this year. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but it's not gonna be pretty.
There'll be no power.
Nobody's power, ever again. Everyone's cut off. Anyway, yeah, you go to the country fair, nobody's bitching about having power. All right.
Because they're high.
He probably just won't even notice any of that.
Speaking of that, I'm sure those kids that were next to the information booth that had the pretty bases.
Oh, yeah, they want to be there
Again.
I know they do.
Okay, so here's the thing about half of them.
Half of who?
So that booth that had the pretty
Uh-huh.
bases was there with another person,
Oh,
and that person did some not great things.
no.
Oh,
And they're not allowed to come back this year.
Oh,
They're banned.
oh,
Yeah,
And Sam knows who they are, and I know who they are, so they won't be able to register this year. So they might
Oh,
take
okay.
some other people with them when they find out they're not able
Yeah.
to register. Because they are big in the Saturday market area. So we'll find out how it goes, but we may lose a few other vendors due to them being banned, but
that's
we
too
may
bad.
not.
we don't need those kind of.
No.
No, we have the right to make our
Yes,
own decision about who attends.
Yeah.
who is in a news out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
His name is Brian. Oh, so when you get an email from Brian.
okay, I am going to call the meeting to a close unless anyone else has
Can I-
anything to do.
Yeah,
Say, yeah.
kind of thinking out loud and just a kind of an idea kind of thing, you know, we wanted to, have cooling stations. And I was thinking about something a little bit different. I'm always trying to find a different thing that might be advantageous to Blackberry Jam. And I was thinking, you know, Jasper had a model train show a few months ago, and I was thinking, if they put that show on at Blackberry Jam in the Grange,
Oh, that would be
that would bring
awesome.
people to the Grange, and it's cooler in there.
Yeah,
And it gets people into the Blackberry Jam and introduce them to the Grange and what the Grange is, and,
Yeah.
you know, the Grange could sell
And then-
pop or something, I don't know, why they're coming in to cool off, you know, but that's kind of a preliminary idea. I need to talk to the president of the Grange and see what he has to say about
And to
that.
bring it up again.
George, if we can't do it at the Grange, we might be able to do it in the elementary school cafeteria too.
Well, I think, yeah, you know,
Because then that helps with our train
hmm,
fundraising too.
you know, so, just an idea.
Not, yeah, it opens up the town more too.
You know,
We
get
need
more
more
people
Blackberry
in,
Jam.
something different.
There's still a few boxes.
I tried to get the Southern Pacific Railroad safety trailer to come in and, you know, it's the hands-on thing, but I couldn't get it, so that doesn't work.
as we're advertising to try to find people, we really need to get people anything Blackberry, because that was one of the things last year, a lot of people were saying,
Oh, yeah.
you know, where's all the Blackberry stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Into that, and we ran out of the jam quickly, and there was really
The
nothing.
jam's on the stage.
True.
Yeah, see, that's why it's called.
I mean, I think that's there was a couple that came from, they were coming through from Australia or somewhere, and they were like, no Blackberry jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice if we.
We want lots of Blackberry jam.
Blackberry.
The cat movies, man, they have just exploded.
Yeah.
I track them on
yeah?
Facebook. And
So hopefully that won't be bad.
they are big.
I know they were big hits.
Well, Blackberries.
Well, they're not ready.
They're not ready,
Uh,
but the Blackberry jam is very good. The actual Blackberry jars of Blackberry jam.
But we haven't made it yet from other Blackberries.
We did have a grilled cheese, Blackberry grilled cheese.
Oh, yes, they did.
Oh, they had
That Blackberry
pork
pork.
Blackberry nacho.
Oh, yeah, pulled pork was good.
Really?
Blackberry pulled pork.
I ate every meal at that job.
When's our next meeting?
In March,
The third Tuesday, is that right?
second Tuesday.
Second
Would be the
Tuesday.
12th.
Tuesday.
It's the 12th, isn't it?
Oh, so in plain English, that is what they,
The what?
in plain English, that's what they,
Second
March
Tuesday,
12th.
March
March
12th.
12th.
6 P.M.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's always the second
Uh,
Tuesday.
You see, we need to get hold of, Maureen to make sure she puts 6 p.m. in the bridge, because it was.
She had seven.
7 in the
Did
bridge.
she?
Yeah,
I'll talk to the guy who told Maureen to,
That was my fault.
Okay, so in March, at the March meeting, can you bring the layout and
Yeah.
numbered map?
I'll have, if you can get Sam to email it to me. Because once it's emailed to me, I get to take it to my daughter's house and say, you're gonna print this for me, because otherwise.
Okay. And then by then George and I will have made all of the contacts with the train. You'll talk to the train people. The K9 people, we'll both talk to.
I know the
Whitlatches.
canine people are gonna say, yeah, that's okay, just call me near the time.
And then, yeah. We'll find out about electrical, so you'll reach out to Star Rental before March, and I'll reach out to my person and we'll figure out. And then you'll talk to Lynn. Brad texted me back and said he's committed for horseshoes and cornhole. And I think that's everybody's homework.
And then if I see Tim, I'll talk to Tim.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah, but I'll just, because I've seen my story. I'll just remind him.
And Lana, if Lynn needs somebody to help out, let me know, because Kiara Miller is more than willing to volunteer for kids' appointments. I just need her to fill out the volunteer.
Oh, yeah, we'll find out about the volunteer forms too and see if we need to do anything with that.
Because I know Tony's gonna be there this weekend, and so is Cherie for a Blackberry Jam. I am not allowed to be alone.
Is the meeting over?
Call the meeting to a close, February 13th at 7:18 PM. What?
You answered my question.
Hey, Mom, do you have any cat?